Have you ever wished you could zip back in time to ace that one test? Or maybe jump forward to see what cool gadgets the future holds? The idea of time travel has fascinated us for ages, showing up in countless books and movies. But could it ever be more than just a story? Let's break it down in a way that won't make your brain hurt. First, let's talk about what time even is. Think of it like a river, constantly flowing in one direction, forward. We're all like little boats floating along this river. This concept is part of what scientists, like the brilliant Albert Einstein, called spacetime. He figured out that space and time are woven together into a single fabric. And here's the cool part: this fabric can be stretched and squeezed. Imagine a bowling ball on a trampoline. It creates a dip, right? That's what massive objects, like planets and stars, do to space-time. They warp it, and according to Einstein's theories, this warping doesn't just affect space, it affects time too. The stronger the gravity, the slower time passes. This is a real thing called time dilation. Astronauts on the International Space Station actually age a tiny fraction of a second slower than us here on Earth, because they're experiencing slightly less of Earth's gravity and moving very fast. So, in a very small way, they're already time travelers into our future. So, if we can slow down time, can we travel to the future? Technically, yes. If we could build a spaceship that travels close to the speed of light, time for the people inside would slow down dramatically compared to everyone back on Earth. They could go on a 5-year journey and return to find that 50 years have passed on our planet. They would have effectively jumped into the future. The biggest hurdle? We don't have the technology or energy to build a ship that can get anywhere near that speed. Okay, so the future is a maybe. But what about the past? This is where things get really tricky and enter the realm of paradoxes. The most famous one is the grandfather paradox. Imagine you travel back in time and accidentally prevent your grandparents from ever meeting. If they never meet, your parent is never born, and if your parent is never born, you are never born. But if you were never born, who went back in time in the first place? It creates a loop that just doesn't make sense. Some scientists have proposed theories to get around these paradoxes. One idea is the multiverse, or parallel universes. In this scenario, when you go back in time and change something, you don't actually change your own past. Instead, you create a brand new timeline. A new branch of reality where things play out differently. So you wouldn't erase yourself. You'd just create a new universe where you don't exist, while your original universe remains untouched. It's a mind-bending idea, but it's one way to solve the paradox puzzle. Another wild concept is something called a wormhole. Think of space-time as a giant sheet of paper. To get from one side to the other, you'd have to travel across the whole surface. But what if you could fold the paper in half and poke a hole through it? That's the basic idea of a wormhole, a theoretical shortcut through space-time that could potentially connect to different points in time. The problem is, even if wormholes exist, they're thought to be incredibly tiny and unstable. Keeping one open long enough to pass through would require a type of exotic matter that we've never even seen. So, where does that leave us? While we're all technically traveling into the future at a rate of 1 second per second, the blockbuster movie version of time travel remains firmly in the world of science fiction for now. The laws of physics, as we understand them, present some massive roadblocks. But who knows? Science is all about pushing boundaries and discovering the impossible. What seems like fantasy today could be tomorrow's reality. The universe is a strange and wonderful place, and we're only just beginning to understand its secrets. Thanks so much for exploring this amazing topic with me. If you enjoyed this journey through time, please hit that like button and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss our next adventure. See you in the next one.